welcome. And welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. If you're new, thank you. If you're a current subscriber or if you're back, also thank you. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of the things that help me get some traction in the algorithm, because isn't that just life, right? Algorithms. Anyway, I wanted to do this quick intro. I did not do this on the Scorpio video. That's okay. But I wanted to do this quick intro because it's 2023 and we are no longer going to assume that people know things without us actually telling people those things, right? And asking for what we want. So I do want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to come back, press the notification thing, bell thing, so you know the videos are posted whenever they get posted. I would love that. Also, I do have an Etsy store. The link is below, because in true manifesting generator form, my soul cannot just have one thing to focus on. I have to have a bunch. So I do have that. I actually have 2 Etsy stores. One of them is on vacation for now. What else? I am working on getting personal readings back up and running since I've been back, but also just kind of trying to surrender to the flow of that. I mean, I know that'll come exactly when it's meant to. Was there anything else? On Instagram, I post daily, quickie energy reads, like, tarot updates. I was posting those on YouTube, but like on YouTube Shorts, but there's like a 60-second limit to those, and they've just been longer than that. So my Instagram is going to be linked below as well, so check that out. What else? I thought that there was more, and now I'm like drawing a blank, because that's what happens when you are a little vulnerable, I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave it there. If there is anything else, I'll mention it at the start of the video. Hello, or hello again. If I said that in the intro, I can't remember. So, I generally go in order with the zodiac signs and human design profiles, but this time I didn't want to do that. So I wrote everybody down on pieces of paper, and this is how we're choosing who's next. So let's see. Alrighty. Who is this? Cancer. Let's do it. So we're going to choose an oracle card for the overall vibe, the overall energy, and then we're going to get some more info from the tarot. So let's see what the overall vibe is for Cancer. It's so interesting because as I'm doing this reading, and you might be able to hear, I have my dryer going, I have a humidifier on. It's just, I don't know, like all of a sudden my attention was kind of drawn to life happening, like the day-to-day life. Ooh, Realisation. Look how beautiful this card is. Number 3, that's my favorite number personally. I'm a Cancer rising, but anyway, I love this. It has a little bit of a Alice in Wonderland vibe to it. Just this figure, hopefully you can see, they're wearing this blue dress. They have this platinum blonde hair. Just kind of has that vibe. But it's so cool because this is like a completely different world than the one that she is either standing in now, or it's almost like, this could even just be the in-between spot. I don't know, like that's kind of coming to mind. Like there could just be an energy of being between two different worlds right now. But there is almost this energy of knowing that it's like knowing that there's something else. And maybe it's like a matter of trying to get clear on what that is. I mean, obviously the word on the card is realization. So clearly, you know, there's either an epiphany happening, a paradigm shift happening. You could just be realizing that what you have been doing for however long you've been doing it is just not anymore either what you want to do or in alignment with what you want to do. I mean, that's totally fine. You know, I think one of the things that just kind of sucks about, I don't know if it's just adulthood or if it's capitalism or if it's some mix of all of those things, but it's like, you know, once you kind of get into a box, it's hard to get out of that box, right? So then it's like having these realizations here that it's like, you know, I'm no longer comfortable in this box that I've been in for a while. So now it's like, what other options, what other possibilities are available? And how can I how can I transition myself kind of to that reality? And we're just getting 6 cards here. Also, even the difference between it being nighttime here and daytime through the keyhole. I love that we have the High Priestess that came out first. That's, again, you know, like really connecting to your soul is like how that feels, like your intuition, knowing that there's some sort of change coming up here. Also, the High Priestess is ruled by the moon. Obviously, you know, Cancer is also ruled by the moon. So I love that. I mean, you're showing up here, and especially in this fashion too, because technically, I believe that the High Priestess is, as far as in tarot goes, it's related to Pisces. And the Chariot is associated to Cancer. But is this exactly the amount of cards that we need? But I love that you're showing up in this capacity and then also in this capacity. Beautiful. Okay. Wow. This is some pretty powerful stuff here. And some birds showed up. They're chirping away outside. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I don't even see it either. So that's kind of funny. That could even be, you know, like, oh, there it is. And it says blue. I've never seen a bird that looked like that in my backyard. How interesting. It's this big blue bird. Maybe that's what it is, like a blue jay or something. I think it knows it was distracting me because now it's gone. So, very cool. Let's just get into it. Again, you know, we start with the High Priestess, and the High Priestess to me is that direct connection to our star player. I relate to, or connect, I should say, to like my higher self. That's what I see this card as. But, you know, if you have a belief in a higher power like God or divine source, anything along those lines, it would be that. Or if you don't believe in a higher power, then this would just be that direct connection to yourself, to your own inner knowing, because we all have it, right? So, and really, it could be both. Like in the 3D, you know, your actual person. So, and in this card, I love that, you know, there's kind of a lot going on, but it's like the more that you look at it, the more that you see it, right? I love the colors on this card, for one. Beautiful. This whole deck I'm obsessed with. But we have the light and dark, you know, kind of wispy energies here. So, you know, and it's almost like it's opening the veil to like otherworldly, like consciousness, right? And we have these little dots here that are coming down. Those to me signify downloads, or just information that's being dropped into your consciousness here. The third eye is lit up here. Their eyes are closed, but you can still like see their irises through it. So it's kind of like you don't need your actual vision to see what you need to see. Like it's coming from either the third eye, the crown, your intuition, which, you know, I mean, is associated with the third eye. There are these rune symbols here, so which is just to me like a symbol of protection. They could be in meditation, so you could be developing or have developed an intuitive, or I was going to say intuitive practice, but I meant to say meditation practice. Now there's two of those birds. I wish I could get a picture. Like the wings are blue, but their body is gray. Interesting. Okay. I just find it interesting that I've literally never seen a bird that looks like that around here. Like at least, you know, when I'm looking outside and I'm doing Cancer's reading, and now there's two of them. So again, you know, I mean, that could be, you could see a blue bird, either like in real life or just a picture of it. But so this right here, this is some like spiritual awakening stuff. Like, I mean, this is legit spiritual awakening. I mean, there could be, like I said, you know, an intuitive gift that's really cracking open here for you, a psychic gift that's really cracking open here. This could even just be being able to literally see the vision of your future with that realization card. And maybe it's just that now you are super clear on what that is. There's no second guessing, because the judgment card, I mean, even just look at this imagery here of the judgment card. Having this out of body experience, astral projecting even, right? Like, and, you know, judgment talks about a transformation, major, you know, transformation. This is the card right before the World card. So we go through the whole fool's journey, right? The High Priestess is pretty close to the beginning of the fool's journey. It's number 2. We start at 0. And this card is right before the end of it. So clearly this is something like a journey that you've been on for some time. This isn't just all of a sudden happening, right? So this is definitely something that's been going on for some time. And the Judgment card is a culmination of all of those experiences that you've had on this journey. And it's getting what you needed to get from this journey and how those experiences, those lessons, that knowledge, that information, how it changes you. And there's this evolutionary quality to it. It's like your consciousness is either evolving, your understanding of the world is evolving and changing, what you believe to be possible even could be changing. That's really powerful stuff. Or it's even just allowing yourself to be open to what is possible, because I mean, there's no way for us to know everything that is possible. There just isn't. And that's why, like having conversations or dipping into, like learning about other ideologies or modalities and cultures and things, like it just opens our eyes and broadens our knowledge to what is possible. I love that this is a 2 and this is a 20, which also simplifies down to a 2. So 22 could have some significance to you. 4 could have some significance to you. 13, which is also a 4. Very interesting. So we have the Death card here. And Death talks about, and what a perfect effing placement for this Death card, because here is this, whatever this is for you, and it can be on like this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be this like huge thing, right? It feels big, but I don't want you to be like, oh, well, like something major didn't happen to me, so that can't possibly be a message for me. No, that's not it. But whatever this is, whatever that's happening here, it's causing an end to a prior way of being, because that's what the Death card is. The Death card says something has to end in order for something new to begin. And on this card, specifically, we have death and rebirth. So, being very clear that this isn't simply an end, it's an end to make way for a beginning. There's that saying that every new beginning disguises itself as an end. And that's so true, isn't it? Because even if, say like a relationship was ending, then what is beginning is a different lifestyle, a new lifestyle. If this is more so just with you and your consciousness and way of looking at the world, again, this would signify the end of that old way of thinking, that old way of understanding what is possible, and making way and, almost like looking forward towards the new, like the evolved way. And this is constant. This isn't necessarily just like one thing, that it's not going to happen just one time. But this could be, like a big one. But we should want this to happen frequently, at least as often as it needs to, like just this constant learning and evolution, or evolving of our consciousness. I also love how this card and this card, it's a little bit of the same, because we can look in the inside here, and in place of where a face would be is a completely different world than what it looks like around here. And also even look at the similarities between the colors here and the colors here. So even more depth there. And then it's like, as a result of this comes the Queen of Wands, which I love this depiction of the Queen of Wands, because we can see them so excited. I mean, just look at the the body language here. So excited, realizing, that they have something so powerful in their hands. This is fire. Specifically, I think it's Aries. But even so, this almost kind of feels like it's like you found something, or something's finally clicked here. Maybe it's that the realization is that you've realized like what you want to do with your life, how you want to like contribute. This could even just be also like feeling that fire within yourself, so much so that it's literally coming out of you. Like it's like coming out of your pores. Man, I'm not gonna lie, like all of a sudden, I started feeling like upper lip sweat and kind of like really nervous. And I don't want you to feel that way. Like that feels a little bit like imposter syndrome. And it's almost like, I just started shrinking is how that felt. So it's almost like I'm just kind of getting this feeling of like letting this sink in, letting this just, because again, this is something that's been going on for some time. This has been something that you've been putting a lot of time and effort, energy into, and rediscovering about yourself, right? And now it's kind of at this point where since this is happening, something is ending. This old way of being is ending. And that can be a bit nerve-wracking, because it's like, oh shit, like what is it going to look like without having that old stuff around? I mean, it's going to look like the new stuff. You're not going to feel like you're missing anything. And imposter syndrome is like, your ego trying to keep you safe. You're fine. Just keep telling yourself, you're fine. You're okay. This is also, if you're like showing up in the world with all this like fire and passion and getting creative and, maybe even expressing yourself differently in the way that you dress, or the way that you, wear accessories, or whatever the case may be, right? Like, that could be nerve-wracking too, because it's like all of a sudden, maybe before you felt unseen or not, like maybe even a little bit invisible. And now that time is also coming to an end. Like, the right people are going to find you now. And it's because of this beacon of light that's happening with this Queen of Wands. And I see the queens as being, like when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves, like we recognize it within ourselves in order to share it with other people. And that's when we get to the King. So this is you, recognizing your own passion, your own desires, honoring those things within yourself too. It could even be communicating differently. The actions that you're taking are maybe even slightly different than how you've done things in the past. And then, like I said, it's like, the right people will show up, or you'll meet the right people at the right time, because the Three of Cups talks about support, celebration, tribal energy, right? Like finding your soul family, working with other people. There could be like a mentor, or even getting involved in some type of community. And it's like, everybody supports everybody else. Like it's just this big group of supportive people. You all have the same interests, the same values, kind of heading in the same direction to a certain capacity. And it's karma. It's exactly like this has like this fate quality to it. With a Justice card, that's a card of Libra. Also, there could be a Libra around, doesn't have to be. Death is Scorpio. Judgment might be fire. And also, there is this quality with this Justice card too about, there's this person, eyes are closed, not stressed or anything, just feeling comfortable. And then we have this figure that is kind of in the shadow, right? And this, again, it just, this feeling of, this feels a little bit like that ego thing that I was talking about. And it's almost like, you know, it's not going to go away. It's just, it's not for the most part. But it's almost like, you know, and that's why I was saying, just keep reminding yourself that you're okay, because you are, you know. This is exactly what you've been working towards. This talks about balance, fairness, the scales balancing. It could be marriage or divorce. There could be a court case involved. So, you know, I mean, all of those things. But like I said, this is also karma. There's an objective, you know, truth to this also. But it's just remembering that both of these things exist at the same time. Both of these things. You know, being okay, feeling confident, feeling good, but also maybe even feeling a bit of that imposter syndrome, feeling like, you know, I can't do this, or people are gonna judge me, or literally with a justice card, you know. And it's like allowing those two things to exist, but also following that intuition, moving forward towards where you feel like legitimately called, and keeping these two things in balance too, because it's you know, stay humble at the same time. Like, be sure that you're kind of checking yourself also, so that, again, right, I mean, like, stay humble. We have the Queen of Cups, also very intuitive, empathic, empathetic. Cups having to do with our emotions. So again, even this message about like balancing out those, the emotional body, the Hierophant, that's the card of Taurus. But this is the teacher. But also, you know, the Hierophant talks about traditional institutions. So it's like corporate jobs, organized religion. It can be like therapy or a life coach. There's this ascension quality to it with the staircase here. There's all these symbols around their head. So it could even be studying different ideologies or different modalities, like we were kind of talking at the beginning. And that's what I was saying too, even at the beginning, about like keeping an open mind and allowing that consciousness to just kind of keep evolving. We have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords. I mean, yeah. There could be some sort of loss going on here because, again, you know, I mean, something has to fall away in order for something new to begin. This could be grieving something clearly. And on the other side of it is this wish fulfillment, this, you know, like almost freedom is how that feels. I mean, just look at the difference between the colors on the pictures, even, you know, kind of having to go through this mourning period to get here. The Ace of Cups behind that, even, I mean, you know, it's all good. Good effing stuff here, Cancer. I'm so happy for you. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for the honor of reading your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.